post this to YouTube in the next couple days. So if you don't get everything or you got to take off early, rest assured that this will be available to you on that channel as well. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to our presenter and subject matter expert, Miss Lacey Rowe. Lacey has worked at American Airlines Credit Union for over 6 years and says that her favorite part of the job is helping members grow their businesses. Couple quick fun facts about Lacey. She has 3 dogs and recently received a master's degree in digital marketing from East Tennessee State University. Lacey, I'm not going to go too far because I know we got some questions coming up, but I will yield the floor to you.
Excellent. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much, Jack. Appreciate that introduction. We're going to go straight on into it, what we're going to cover today. First, we're going to discuss why is bookkeeping important to your small business. Even if you are just starting out or you have a teeny tiny little maybe Etsy shop or something like that, bookkeeping can still be very important to you wherever you are in your small business journey, and we'll kind of discuss why that is. We're going to talk about bookkeeping versus accounting. What is the difference between those two? We're going to kind of cover some common terms so you will kind of gain, if you don't already know, more vocabulary regarding bookkeeping and accounting. Important bookkeeping records that you should keep, what's important and what is not. Key documents of bookkeeping. We'll cover any questions that you guys have, and then we will talk about the business products that we have here at the credit union, how we can help you and your small business. And of course, we're going to tell you how you can get in contact with us if you have any questions or if you would like to get started with an account or a business loan. Moving right along is our first poll question.
All right, that's my cue, Lacey. We just want to get a quick pulse of the room. Remember, these questions are not public, or your answers, sorry, are not public. But we want to know, where are you in your small business journey? Is your business up and running? Or maybe you're in the process of setting up your business? Or maybe you're like me, you got something, you haven't really started, you're here for more information. So that poll should be up for those of you that are looking where to find it in case it didn't pop up. In the bottom right-hand corner, if you're on a PC, next to the Q&A button, there's 3 little dots, 3 ellipses. If you click that and click on polling, you should have the opportunity to respond. And again, we just want to get a pulse of the room, right, Lacey?
Right. There's no right or wrong answers. We've got something for everybody in this webinar. So wherever you are, we're happy to see you.
Absolutely. But yeah, this will help Lacey maybe spend a little bit more time on certain sections or just, again, get an idea of the type of folks that like to attend these webinars. So we'll go ahead and close out the poll, see what our responses are. They should be popping up on your screen right now as well. Lacey, it looks like about 20% said their business is up and running. Congrats to them. We got about 10 or 11% that said they are in the process of setting up their business. And then we have more than a quarter of the room that said they have not yet started. They're here for more information. And I'm going to say 42% could not find the polling area on the screen. So
it's okay. We'll have another one later on.
Absolutely. And we had plenty of participation. Thank you for those of you that chimed in here. Lacey, I'll throw it back to you.
All right. Thanks so much. Thank you all of those who answered. Those of you who are up and running, congratulations. I know that was a lot of work. You might have done it a long time ago, but I'm still proud of you. I think that's awesome. Those of you who are here for more information or you're in the process, we are here to support you. So absolutely, I'm happy all of you guys are here. So why is bookkeeping so important to your small business? It helps a business organize and maintain accurate finances, which helps business owners to understand the financial health of their organization. Also, by law, organizations are required to keep accurate financial records. However, bookkeeping is also has other benefits, including being ready for tax season and being having that all ready to go and prepared, and avoiding that kind of panic that comes with, oh my gosh, it's tax time again. You can kind of have it all ready. You can either file your taxes yourself or hand it over to an accountant and say, here you go. Budgeting. You need to know where you're going to spend your money that is going to help out your business the most. Should you buy more equipment? Should you hire another person? This will help you in making those budgets and decision making that kind of goes with that. Organization, of course, it always helps to reduce stress to have your bookkeeping all organized and accurate. And needless to say, that organization, that improved stress level benefits your whole business. It helps with business analysis. Again, where your business is, having a whole picture of the financial health, where you are in the business, where you can grow, where your opportunities lie. Business planning, where you're going to go in the future. Reporting, if you have investors or any other interested parties, you can definitely create reports about your business on request. Financial management, this is a very important thing. Most of you guys said that you are up and running, so you are very well aware that financial management of your business is extremely important. What if something goes wrong? What if there's an emergency? Financial management that comes with bookkeeping kind of helps you prepare and be ready and make sure that your business doesn't cease to exist just because you have a few pitfalls along the way. Profit and loss projections, those are important. In fact, if you are going to apply for a loan here at the credit union, we may very well ask for profit and loss, at least year to date, but also projections are very helpful in obtaining funding, if not just from us, but from investors, anybody. Strategic planning, where how you're going to move forward to in your business in the future. Business goal setting and achievement. You got to know where you are in order to know where you should be going, or what is an achievable goal for your business. Acquisition of business funding and loans, of course, and adherence to government regulations. That's going to be different. How strict those government regulations are is going to vary a bit by state and by your industry and by your entity type. So for example, if you have a corporation, your requirements might be a little bit different than if you have an LLC or a sole proprietorship. So I will stress that as far as government regulations go, just definitely do your research for your state and in your industry and for your entity type to make sure you are in compliance with everything you need to be in compliance with. Okay. Bookkeeping versus accounting, what is the difference here? So at its core, bookkeeping is about recording financial data, and accounting is about interpreting financial data. So a bookkeeper is going to prepare important monthly financial statements. They're going to communicate with small business owners on a regular basis. They might even be on your permanent payroll, or they may be kind of a person that does freelance, or you may be doing your own. All of these are fine. Just your bookkeeper is much more in contact with you regardless. They maintain the business accounts, all of them. They record transactions in a general ledger, handles accounts receivable and payable. We're going to kind of cover what exactly those two things are here in a minute, but they handle them. They reconcile bank statements each month. This is so important because this person, bookkeeper, will be taking a look at that bank statement, making sure there's no mistakes made. every month. And they're going to manage payroll in some cases. You may or may not have payroll at this point in your business, but I bet you are probably paying yourself, or hopefully you are taking a bit of a draw for yourself if you're the business owner. So your bookkeeper, even if it's yourself, will be taking care of that and kind of making the records on that. Now, your accountant, they prepare and file tax returns. That's their primary function. They communicate with small business owners less often and usually during tax season. In some cases, you may or may not have an accountant on your staff. Most small businesses don't. They kind of do business with them periodically, either once a year, or maybe if they have a special project, such as applying for a student for a business loan or business funding. And they analyze financial information from the bookkeeper. So the bookkeeper will be keeping the daily records, and an accountant is the one that can kind of analyze that information and give you more insight on how everything is performing, where your opportunities are for growth, where maybe you need to spend more attention, maybe make some investments. An accountant can really help analyze that data that the bookkeeper is keeping. They advise small business owners on finances, compliance, and taxes. So accountants must stay very educated on current tax laws and regulations and all of that. That is a requirement for them. So they're going to advise you. They work for you. They don't work for the government. They don't work for anybody else. So they're going to advise you on what's best for you and your business. So they're going to help protect you from trouble, but also to get you the most return for your taxes and the most deductions, things like that. And they also help you to apply for business loans. They know what institutions are looking for. They know what investors are looking for, and they're going to help paint the best picture for your business so that you can get that funding that you're needing. Okay, let's go over some common terms in the context of this webinar, the way I'm going to use these terms. A sale is simply a transaction you receive funds for, and it's also referred to as money in. An expense is something your business pays for, such as inventory or rent or payroll, things like that. And this is also referred to as money out. A liability, this is not to be confused with an expense. A liability refers to something your business owes money on, such as a small business loan or a credit card, or say you're buying a vehicle for your small business. While that vehicle has a lien on it or a loan, it is a liability. Once you pay that loan off, your business vehicle becomes an asset, which is the next term. An asset is an item your business owns. So your business may already own its computer or a camera or some items that your business owns. Again, if you pay that vehicle off, it becomes an asset, or property or anything like that. Those are assets that your business owns. Revenue is the income your business makes on a sale. Profit is the money your business has after subtracting the expenses from revenue. So any money that went into creating your product, subtract that, and you've got your profit. Owner's equity is the value of your business assets minus the liabilities. Basically, the value of your company if you had to put a price tag on it. Accounts receivable, this is the money your client or customers owe you when you send them an invoice. And accounts payable, this is the money owed by your business to its creditors as well as vendors for goods and services purchased, excuse me. So those are the common terms we kind of use in this, and this is the context, in this context, I guess. is the way we use those terms or what they mean. So let's cover next, let's cover some common types of accounting methods for small businesses. So single entry accounting, this records all transactions at once, either as an income or expense. This method tracks revenue and expenses only and is suitable for small businesses that don't really have any significant inventory or equipment involved in their finances. So maybe you are offering services such as babysitting children or something like that, something that's a very simple business. You don't have a lot of equipment involved in its inventory. Single entry accounting may work for you, at least at first, while you're getting your business taken care of or off the ground. It's only you. You would definitely probably want to shift to another type of accounting if your business grows, if you hire an employee, maybe you purchase some inventory you want to keep track of, or you take out a loan, things like that. A double entry accounting. This method enters every transaction twice as both a debit and a credit. Now, this shows business money flow, and it's a clear source, shows the clear source and destination of all money that your business has, where it goes. It's kind of more of a flow more than just subtract and add kind of situation. Double entry accounting tracks assets, liability, equity, revenue, and expenses, and it reduces the risk of accounting errors. This method is suitable for businesses with significant assets, liability, and inventory. So for example, we kind of talked about this on the last slide, how once you may have a liability for a certain amount of time, but then it becomes an asset. Well, that kind of is double entry accounting where money is leaving one place and it's going into another place, and you're showing both. You're showing the entire flow of money. This is going to help you to avoid mistakes. It's kind of a built-in reassurance that not just one entry was correct, but both of the entries were correct. And so it's much better for kind of catching mistakes. Cash-based accounting. This records transaction when money actually changes hands, and that's it. This method doesn't record invoices for your company or your outstanding bills until everything actually changes hands, until it has been paid. And accrual-based accounting, that's going to record invoices and bills even if they haven't quite been paid yet, even if money hasn't been exchanged. Generally, accrual-based is the recommended accounting method because it tells the company's financial status based on known incoming and outgoing funds. It gives you a bigger picture than just the cash-based. Because funds are accounted for in the bookkeeping, you can use this data to determine growth. Not only growth, you can kind of use this data to monitor your busy season, maybe what months you want to stock up on inventory, maybe what time of year you might want to hire temporary workers, things like that. This data is really helpful because it gives you more of a full understanding of the finances of your business and what's coming up and how to plan for everything. Okay, so what's important, what's not in terms of bookkeeping? What do I need to keep? Because especially those of you who are kind of new to business, you're probably learning right now that you're going to get a whole lot of documents. You're going to have everybody trying to sell something to you. You're going to get a whole lot of mail. What's important, what's not in terms of bookkeeping? Well, let me just cover some of the records that you're going to want to keep. You're going to definitely want to keep your bank statements. You're going to want to keep your credit card statements as well. Any canceled checks. Of course, you're going to want to keep receipts. Try to keep them organized as well as you can. Bills, of course, customer invoices, customer payments, um, sales receipts, deposit slips. You'll of course keep your tax returns, your 1099 forms if you are hired by anyone or if you hire an outside contractor. You're going to keep all of those forms. Payroll documentation, copies of contracts, leases, and other agreements such as copyrights, any patents that you own, things like that, and licenses, insurance, and permits. Now, you can keep the paper version of this, or you can keep a digital version of this in the cloud somewhere. It's always, even if you're going to keep the paper version of these, it's always important to have a version that is kept somewhere in the cloud, just in case of emergency. If your records experience, if there's a flood, if there's something that damages the paper version of all of your records, you're going to want to be able to access all of this. So be sure and scan it, save it, just create some kind of way of accessing these documents, even if you don't have access to your computer or your filing cabinet. Right. We are moving on to poll question number 2.
I was waiting.
You were waiting, you were ready.
Well, I don't know if I was ready, but I am now. All right, so we want to know, a little trivia question for the attendees here today. What percentage of small business owners do their own bookkeeping? So this is your best guess. I don't think this is anything you covered, right, Lacey?
Nope. This is
Nope.
just a trivia.
Yes. So is it 25% do their own bookkeeping? That would be A. Or B, 64%, C, 85%, or D, 10%. Now, I want to point out, Lacey, this isn't all businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is small businesses. So
Yeah.
we all know that American Airlines or the credit union, we don't do our own bookkeeping because we're not a small business. We have a lot of people that do their bookkeeping. We have auditors, et cetera. So that might help you make your decision, right?
Yes. You're not counting all the big corporations, anything like that. These are the smaller businesses with 50 or more employees, 50 or less employees.
Which, shameless plug here, that's our niche.
It
Is
is.
a
That's most
small
of
business.
our business owners here at their credit union who have their accounts here for sure.
Yeah, and for those of you that are having a little trouble or it didn't pop up for you, again, right next, if you leave it on a little longer, Sarah, if you don't mind, right next to the Q&A, there's 3 little dots, and you can choose polling, which will allow you to participate, try your luck, that sort of thing. So I think it might have automatically closed out, right?
Oh, I
Yeah.
think it did.
Yeah, we had a timer on it. All good. We got a few responses, so we'll just go with what we got. We have one person, or 25%. 16% said it was B, 64%. And then runner up there is 85%. So Lacey, got a question for you. What percentage of small business owners do their own bookkeeping?
Well, according to Statista and a report created by fitsmallbusiness.com, 64%. So if you chose B, you were correct. 64%
Majority of our people were correct. So bravo,
the
give yourselves a
smartest
hand.
numbers, I swear. And even if you didn't quite get the correct answer, you're still very smart. I didn't cover this information. It was just your best guess, right? But it's 64% of small business owners do their own bookkeeping. Many small business owners use the mini cloud-based software that can transfer transactions automatically from bank accounts, taking some of the time-consuming work out of small business bookkeeping. So maybe it's not all done manually by most of the business owners. They use one of the many amazing tools out there that kind of help take that load off, but they still handle it in-house themselves. Okay, moving on. Thank you very much for participating in our fun little poll. I just enjoy when you guys participate and let me know that you guys are out there and listening and all of that. So I really, really appreciate you. So creating key documents to use during your in your bookkeeping records. So now, some of these you may be able to find, again, a template in a tool that you have purchased, such as like QuickBooks or something like that, or you might create your own version. Either one is correct. I'm just going to kind of explain what these documents are. So creating these key documents can help you answer critical questions about your business, and it can also help you make strategic business decisions and help support a business loan application or funding request. It's advised to update these documents at least every quarter and to add the most up-to-date documents to the financial section of your business plan document. So earlier this year, we did cover how to write a business plan. So if you were here for that, this can kind of supplement what we covered. But even if you weren't here for it, you probably know that there is a financial section of your business plan. It's a very important section, especially if you're going to ask for funding from anybody else. So these are some documents that you would want to keep and add to that. So your balance sheet is the first one. This document shows your business assets, liabilities, owner's equity in the business. Essentially, it's just a breakdown of what's owed and what is owned. So I don't know if this will ring a bell with everybody, but it's interesting because the show Shark Tank, they always want to know this key information. And so, that kind of gives you an idea. I know it's a TV show and I know that that's not how everything works, but it does give you an idea of how people, investors, and financial institutions even think. At the end of the day, it's all about what your financial situation is. Because if you're asking me for money or asking a financial institution or an investor for money, the main thing they want to know is how you're doing financially and how you're going to pay us back, right? That's what you would probably want to know if you're investing. Of course you would. So just at the end of the day, it's a simple kind of breakdown of what that looks like for your business. And profit and loss statement. This is a summary of your revenue minus expenses for a period of time, typically broken down by quarter of the year at a time. And it shows your business's profits and losses at a glance for that span of time. So I mentioned earlier, if you were to apply for a loan here at the credit union and your business does have some financial history, we would ask you for a profit and loss statement, a year-to-date profit and loss statement. So we're actually going to want profit and losses for that year, that fiscal year. So it's not for us, it's not just that quarter, but hopefully you will have been keeping those records up to date every quarter. So it wouldn't be a difficult thing for you to produce if you do decide to apply for a business loan with us. A cash flow statement. This shows where your business's cash is going, and it organizes the cash flow into three types of objectives. So operating, how much does your business make day to day? And investing, are the assets you've purchased for the business paying off? And financing, how much cash has been invested into your business? And this can include funds that you have invested or funds that you have borrowed or raised from investors. So that's kind of the flow, the cash flow statement. It's showing what you have, where you put it, and how that's paying off for you. So maybe something started with operating expenses. You're starting small and you are just making money day to day, right? Then as that grows, you find that you can invest in a new piece of equipment to make it possible for you to sell more money. Well, that's going to show a flow of money from operating to investing. And then investing from there, you're going to kind of show if that's paying off, how much more money you're able to make. And then finally, financing, that's where you're going to be able to show again the full picture of what you're doing, how your investments are paying off, whether or how you're spending funds that have been borrowed, or how you will spend funds if you do obtain funding from an investor or from an institution in a loan. Okay, so here are some tips for outsourcing business bookkeeping or accounting services. This isn't a comprehensive list, so I definitely suggest that you do your own research again in your state, find out what you need in your state and in your for your industry. You are the expert in your industry, and so you're going to know what to look for in a bookkeeper, an accountant, somebody who knows your industry really well. But this is just general tips. There are many reasons why you may choose to outsource bookkeeping or accounting services for your business. If you choose to hire an expert for your business bookkeeping or accounting needs, consider the following before making your hiring decisions. So for bookkeepers, look for candidates with certifications from either the National Association of Certified Public Bookkeepers or the American Institute of Professional Bookkeepers. These professionals typically have CPB or CB behind their names. You may see them on LinkedIn, you may see their resumes, but they usually have those letters behind their names. And these certifications are optional. They're not needed for a person to become a professional bookkeeper. So why that is important is just because somebody has a bookkeeping business doesn't mean that they have those certifications. So just keep that in mind. You may know an amazing bookkeeper who doesn't, and you may choose to hire those. That's fine. Just letting you know that it's not required by law that they have these. Accountants, if you want to hire a professional with a higher level of mastery in accounting, consider hiring a certified public accountant or a CPA. The CPAs are accountants who have completed a higher level of education and have passed the CPA exam. And CPAs are required to keep their certification current, so they're up to date on important tax law changes. Of course, we know how important that is as business owners. So CPAs, they're required by law to keep that CPA status. In order to keep that CPA status, they are required by law to continually get up-to-date information and continue to educate themselves. So they are going to be able to advise you the best way that they know how because they have kept up with their own. CPA licensing is not required to be an accountant, and some accountants hold a bachelor's degree in accounting but no CPA certification. So keep in mind, again, just because you find an accountant doesn't mean that they are CPA certified. Just be aware that that is not required by law. So you might want to, check certifications for yourself if you're going to make a hiring decision. The decisions are ultimately up to you. These are just tips. Okay, here we are.
All right, here we are. Let's see. Next poll question, y'all. This is another trivia question, right, Lacey?
It is. It is.
What percentage of small business owners think the accountants they work with could do more to reduce their taxes? In other words, what small businesses think their accountants could save them money? Is it A, 14% of small business owners do? Is it B, 40%, C, 82%, or D, 53%? Again, this is a trivia question. We will not be saving your responses or anything like that. So we're popping that question up right now, and it is live. We put 5 minutes on there, but we'll probably give you a minute to respond, y'all. Again, if you're not seeing it pop up on your screen, click the little three dots in the bottom right-hand corner, or if you're on a mobile device, should be able to swipe a couple screens over to see that polling question. So
Right.
as these roll in, I'm just curious, Lacey, and this might tip the answer a little bit, but were you surprised? I mean, at
I
the answer? Because I know you know
was.
the answer. I don't.
I can't give away the answer, but I was surprised with the answer.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a stab. I
Okay.
promise y'all, I don't have any
He doesn't.
advantage over the attendees
He
here today.
doesn't know.
I think people would say, I think 82% think their accountants could do
Yeah,
more to
they
reduce their
think you
taxes.
need to
I'm a
get me more
skeptic, so I'm always
money
going to
back.
demand more as well.
Exactly. All right. Is
All right,
everybody finished
so
up?
we closed it out. The overwhelming majority said that they think 40% of small business owners think their accountants could do more to reduce their taxes. And then we have a smattering amongst the other answer choices.
Okay.
Lacey, what do small business owners really think about their accountants?
Okay, here's the answer that surprised me. It was A, 14%. So,
What?
yes, most people are completely trusting and happy with what their tax professional or accountant is doing to reduce their taxes. So, on the
Well,
other, oh, good.
full disclosure, I don't have a business per se, but I do have some investments. And I am my own accountant, if you will. Therefore, I demand more out of myself. I think I could do more to reduce my taxes. I was coming from it on a too individualistic.
Well, sure. Well, that's all we can do is just kind of go by our own experiences. And yeah, I don't blame you for using that logic at all. On the other hand, now this was important. 62% are of the opinion that their accountants do all they can to minimize the amounts they pay in taxes. So here's how it kind of broke down. So 62% are thinking their accountants are doing all they can do. No notes. We're good. 24% are undecided. And so that shows that most owners are aware of the importance in accountants in their business. So it doesn't necessarily mean that only 14% are just the only ones who think they could do more. There's a big section of undecided people. So anyway, either way, I just found that interesting. Also, 71% of small companies outsource their tax preparation. So this is an accounting. This is when they don't have an accountant on the payroll, they kind of outsource it. So that's 71% of small companies. So I thought that was interesting as well to add here in this subject. All right, moving on to questions. So
All
if
right.
you can think of any questions, we may already have a few about anything we've covered. We are still going to talk about our products that we have here at the credit union. So I might be covering some of your questions if you're asking about accounts or loans. I might be covering that in the next section, but definitely put in your questions if you have any.
Yeah, and for those of you that are looking for the Q&A feature, again, recommend you send it to all panelists. That way, everybody on the top of your screen can review those. Lacey, while people are putting their thoughts together, assuming they have any, I had a question.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind going back to the slide earlier about the different types of accounting,
Uh-huh.
the
Let's
cash
see where we are.
basis
Uh-huh.
versus.
There we are.
Okay, so we got single. I remember in college, we had to do double entry accounting, and I hated it. Like we had to
Mhm.
learn it. And for me, it made sense at that time, but I thought to myself, when am I ever going to use this? So, my question is this: is there one of these accounting methods that is considered the best?
Not to everybody. Um,
Okay.
Definitely, I would say double entry. in my research and my experience, it's leaves the most or the least room for errors because you are you know, you have to, if you're going to make an error, you have to make this error twice. So it's kind of a built-in double checker. So even though that double entry accounting that you hated so much was such a pain, it kind of does get the job done the best. But you know, it's also not necessary if you have you know, a very, very small operation. Maybe it's just one person and you don't have a lot of inventory, things like that. You don't necessarily have to go to all that trouble. But once you grow, I would definitely adopt that double entry accounting method.
Checks out. And I do know, based on, I'm on the board of our condo community, not to make this about us, but we just switched from cash-based accounting to accrual-based accounting. And just to throw this out there for those that are
Interesting.
listening, the rationale is that at the end of the year, because we are under different laws in the state of Texas, we have to put our finances, our financial statements, out to the public using accrual-based accounting. So rather than go back and reformat all of our cash-based accounting, why don't we just work in accrual-based accounting from the
Mhm.
get-go? So we are under the timeline right now to move all of our records to accrual-based accounting, and I understand that is a gap, generally accepted accounting practices style of accounting.
Definitely. And, you know, there's kind of a, it doesn't have, there is a way of kind of having cash and accrual based accounting kind of merged, and I see it in the softwares and things like that that say, okay, well, this is what people have paid, this is because that is an important thing to know, especially if you have a large amount of clients who maybe are not paying you on time. It may
Right.
be an indication or something to keep in you know, on your radar. You may need to hire somebody to be calling people and kind of your own collections people being like, okay, hey, I saw that you didn't pay your bill yet. Would you like to do that now? Kind of
Yeah.
thing, because that happens in business and it's important to kind of know, not have them all together. Maybe accrual and cash is, they both have their place.
Good to know. All right. Well, thanks for and spending some time on that with me. We do have a organic question from our attendees today. Sherry wants to know, when starting a new business, would you recommend using a ledger book or working with an accountant for what information you should begin to collect? So ledger book, an accountant. I'm going to throw something else out there, maybe a an app or some kind
Yeah.
of software. What's kind of, when you're first starting out, the best way to do it, Lacey?
I am going to advise, and of course, new business means different things to different people. I'm assuming that you're meaning I'm just starting and I'm starting small, right? And in your case, I would definitely recommend some sort of software. There's a lot out there. I have heard good feedback from about FreshBooks, about different things, and we're not partners with them, so it's not an endorsement. It's just some of our members have kind of provided me with feedback and said, hey, I really like this. But I would definitely consider a company that is of course low cost. They might have fewer bells and whistles, but you don't need all those bells and whistles yet. So consider a cloud-based accounting software as you're getting started, that's not going to cost you a lot of money, but it's still going to allow you to keep track of those accounts payable, accounts receivable, and you know, money in, money out kind of thing, just the basics. And they usually also allow you to send an invoice, which is great. Most of us pay online anyway, or with our credit cards. So you can kind of find a vendor that can cover all those needs for you. I'm not going to, I understand because I am a person who writes down everything. So a ledger book, you know, the physical version, I understand the desire to have one. but I wouldn't rely on that entirely. What if it gets stolen? What if something happens and you cannot get to it? You don't want to lose those records. So having some sort of cloud-based version of it, even if it helps you to have both, if you want to do both, that's fine. If you, but I would definitely make sure you can access it, even if you don't have access to your computer or your office. You can access those records if you need it.
Checks out. Sounds good to me.
I did say sorry, Sherry said, did you say FreshBooks? I did say that. That's the one that I'm familiar with through my members, just kind of telling us about it and
I
using
know
it.
Quicken has products. There's also
Yep.
some very industry specific products out there as well.
Mhm.
I know for like rental properties, things like that. There's a bunch of different platforms, and it's just kind of what you feel is the best suited for you.
Agreed. And now that you say that, I have a member who is a photographer, and I don't know what it is that they use, but look for industry specific things. Like he just said, because a photographer, they're keeping track of different bits of information as well. So something that's tailored to your industry is a great idea.
Awesome. Well, for the sake of time, and Sherry said thank you. She hadn't heard of it, so thanks, Sherry.
Uh,
So we're time check. We're at 11 to 12 minutes.
okay.
So just want
We're,
to get us
yeah,
up
we're
to
gonna move
slide
right
14, 13, 14. There you go. All right.
15. There we are.
Turning it back to you, Lacey.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So, how can we help you here at the credit union? Well, when you start a business, you're going to need a business account. We have business memberships, they include a business checking and savings account. There's a minimum deposit in each of those is of only $25. There's a $1 application fee that only happens one time. So, $51 gets your account open, which for business accounts in the financial industry, it's pretty low requirement. And of course, we don't have any monthly service fees, but, and I'm just telling you this now, you'll remember it later. Enroll in online statements. Paper statements do cost you $5 a month. Online statements are free. You do that, you take care of that, and then you won't have any monthly fees at all. You can have up to one savings or share account, and you can have up to 9 additional checking accounts. Some members like to have different accounts for different things. We can help you out with that. Again, we've got online banking, we've got bill pay, mobile deposit after the account has been open for 30 days. Online statements, we mentioned that. Wire transfers are available, and so are ACHs. Now, if you are looking for any kind of business funding, so say you have this slide is for your business. If you're just starting out, you don't have 2 years of business tax income history, you can apply for an overdraft protection loan. That's just kind of a loan that stays in your account and kicks in if you ever overdraft. It kind of is just there as a safety net, and it covers you instead of having a big overdraft fee. There's just some interest in regards to the loan. Business auto loans, you can borrow up to $40,000 for a business automobile, and a Visa business platinum business credit card with a credit limit of up to $20,000. So what we would ask for is because your business, in this instance, your business doesn't have the income history, we're going to ask for your personal income information and a year-to-date business income. That profit and loss sheet that we talked about, we'll ask for that if you have it. Okay, so say your business has been in operation for a little bit longer. If you filed taxes 2 times, then you can apply for our other business loan products, such as auto loans. That $40,000 cap is no longer there. Equipment loans, real estate loans, other vehicle loans, lines of credit, overdraft protection loans, and Visa Business Platinum credit card. Instead of the $20,000 credit limit, we can go up to $50,000 on that. What we would ask for in those situations is, of course, has your business been in operation for 2 or more years? Are the owners in good standing with the credit union, and is the collateral acceptable? What that means is if you're purchasing something, we have to be able to verify that what we are loaning on it is the collateral is worth what we're loaning on it, essentially. We'll look for that. We will ask for tax returns for your business, and kind of depending on the type of loan and the amount, we might ask for more information. So just be aware, you're more than welcome to, if this is the type of loan you're wanting to apply for, call us and talk to us about your specific situation, and we can kind of give you more custom tailored answers. Okay, so here's our contact information. If you would like to get in touch, please do. Our phone number is 817-952-4123. You can give us a call, or you can email us at businessservices@aacreditunion.org.
Man, you got through those quick.
I was looking at the clock. I was trying to make sure we finish on time.
No, I appreciate it. Don't go anywhere, y'all. We still have a little bit more, and hopefully a few more questions if there are any. At this point, Lacey, I'm going to go ahead and take over the presenter role.
Mhm.
All right. Moving along here. So we just have a couple quick public service announcements to make sure we're bringing you all the credit union benefits that you may not be aware of. We understand that most of you on today's presentation are probably already members. So we do want to take the time to point out a few offers that are available to you. But before we do that, if anyone here is not yet a member of the credit union, you can go to join.aacreditunion.org or drop by a local branch. You can find our locations online. And if you use BD4412 promo code BD, B as in boy, D as in dog, 4412, we will credit your initial new member deposit of $6. So you literally have nothing to lose. Now, once you become a member, or if you're already a member, I'd like to point out that right now we do have some rates on our auto loans as low as 4%. APR. We also are offering, to get that low, the ability for you to refinance your auto loan and save 0.5% off of your stated rate. Another way to save a little bit of money is our low rate credit card. If you open and transfer a balance from another credit card to your low rate credit card, you will enjoy a 0% intro rate for the next 6 months. Not only that, but our low rate card absolutely crushes other competitors out in the market. I believe it starts out as low as 11.75 as of now. The last thing I'll point out here, as far as some incredible offers we have, until the end of April, so you have 18 more days, we have an awesome promotion on our share certificate. It's a 12-month, $10,000 or more share certificate that pays 4.96% APY. Must be opened before or on April 30th. So in other words, if you have 10,000 in there, at the end of 1 year, you'll have $10,496, which is a lot more than what others are paying out there.
Wow.
We do have other offers out there. You can go to aacreditunion.org/offers to learn more. And then the last one I'll point out here, if any of y'all are enjoying the benefits of the credit union and you want to share that with your family members, you can actually earn some cash for referring them. You'll earn $25 when you refer a family member and they join, up to a maximum of $250 a year. You can learn more about that by scanning the QR code, going to aacreditunion.org/refer25. But the takeaway there is that they will use promo code refer25 at the very end of their application, and we'll provide some information so that we know how to credit that to your account. All right, so I'm going to take another look here at the Q&A, Lacey.
Okay.
If
we have any other questions today?
I don't see a lot. That's a lot of material. Oftentimes we do get the question, how can I get a copy of today's presentation? For those of you that missed the housekeeping items earlier, we will be sending you a survey here in about 4 minutes. Check the email address that you registered with. Not only can you give us some feedback, but you can also request a copy of today's presentation. So keep a lookout for that. Lacey, I did have one other question. You talked about it briefly, but I mean, I struggle with it. Do you have any tips for finding a trusted accountant or tax professional or somebody like that? If not, Google's a great resource, but I just wanted to know if you had any
Of
tips.
course. No, that's a great question. Okay, so I have I find these helpful. LinkedIn, um, and Upwork, freelance websites. So there's Upwork is the one that I have used, not necessarily for an accountant, but Fiverr is another one. So if anybody's still there listening, it's just the words Upwork, all in one word. I've used that one, and then Fiverr. I've used these two. And it's not just, like I said, it's not just for accounting, but it's for freelance people, and you can see reviews. That's the great thing, is you can read their reviews, you can ask for samples of work, you can kind of do your research that way. Those people, a lot of them really make their living on those websites, so they tend to be as professional as possible because there is a built-in competition. There might be 50 accountants on there. So you want to make sure you have 5 stars. You want to make sure your people are leaving reviews that are positive. And it kind of shows you on those websites, these people are really highly rated. And you can kind of make decisions from there. Again, look for those certifications. But like I said, also take a look at LinkedIn. Take a look at, because that's a way a lot of small business owners kind of advertise themselves, is online on social media. So LinkedIn, even maybe even Instagram, things like that. You might find really great people online.
I had a little bit of success, and you kind of hit it on the head. Social media, Instagram, that sort of thing. A lot of people will crowdsource
Mhm,
information. Facebook, your social media channels, even LinkedIn. To that point, Lacey,
mhm.
ask your friends, your family. A lot of them probably have experiences that can help you out. And I've, at least from personal experience, if somebody knows that you know somebody, they're going to do you right because they don't want to start any bad blood in those
Yep.
circles. So
Yeah.
thanks for spending some time on those other solutions as well, Lacey.
All right. No problem.
All right, going to bring us home a little bit. Don't go anywhere. A couple other quick points that I want to point out. Um, so we do have all of our webinars for April and May should be posted very soon at aacreditunion.org/events. Be sure to check that out. Not only do we post our webinars and seminars and things like that there, but any upcoming member celebrations, campaigns, etc., are typically posted there as well. And so for that reason, I want to draw your attention to our Spring Drive and Save Auto event, where you can finance or refinance a vehicle. And we have some pretty excellent promotions going on until the end of April. Once you refi or finance a vehicle, make sure you register for our drawing. We're giving 3 $1,000 principal payments to anyone that registers. You also can take advantage, this goes for anyone, a 90 calendar day payment deferrals, and up to a 0.5% discount. Plus, if you complete your loan at a nearby branch, we have a little special gift for you. And on the heels of the Spring Drive and Save Auto event, this week, right now, is our Florida Spring Car Sale event, which is capped by an in-person car sale event at our Miami Blue Lagoon branch on April 15th and 16th. That's this Saturday and Sunday. So if you are in that area, be sure to drop by and say hi. That's it for me. So on behalf of Lacey, Sarah, Jack, that's me, Nasario, and the entire credit union, I want to thank you so much for investing in your financial well-being by spending some time with us today. Again, remember that if we didn't get to your question, you can indicate that on the survey. You can also request a copy on the survey of today's presentation. And then be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for helpful financial tips and to learn about upcoming webinars and events. Like I said at the beginning, we also have a YouTube channel where you can view previously recorded webinars. That'll be dropping into our channel, this recording, probably Friday. That's all I got. So please stay safe, healthy, and happy out there, and let us know if we can do anything to help you out on your financial journey. Lacey, anything else you'd like to add?
Just want to say thank you so much for being here. I just love it. Thank you so much.
Excellent. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Bye.